Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. And as you can see here, there's a cat in the middle of this, right? Okay, so there is a cat here. I'm sorry. She just got fixed, and for whatever apparent reason, now she's rambunctious. She's glad to be in my room, and I had to pet her every now and then because if I don't, she just starts meowing. So I apologize for that. But what we have here is more of the Austin Metcalf, Karmelo Anthony type deal. All right. So this is going to be more on, I guess you could say, defense of Karmelo Anthony in terms of what's been going on. Now, as I said before, on us and on the 19th of April, which was a couple of days ago, there was supposed to be a riot, not a riot, but a protest, and it turned out to just be grifters and a bunch of idiots. As expected. I mean, I told people to not join this and not go to it because this is what's going to be. So, again, we're going to get into it. So, what we have here, specifically, is this is Austin Metcalf's dad trashes to protect white Americans, protesters who held a rally for slain team. They don't give a about my family. Now, we're going over a few things here, and it's insane. Now, there's a lot more negative stuff here, but this is kind of the first story that I grabbed that is, that's more recent. The other stuff is a couple or 3 days old, and I'll get to that throughout the day. So throughout the day, you'll have a bit more news going here and there. So again, what we have here is the father of the same team, Austin Metcalf, slammed protesters who held a rally against his son's accused killer, calling them race baiters who want to spew their narrative for their own agenda. The dad, John Metcalf, has spoke to the Post on Saturday hours after a group of demonstrators gathered at the stadium where Karmelo Anthony, 17, allegedly stabbed Austin Metcalf, also 17, in the heart at a high school track meet in Frisco, Texas. Organizers from a group called Protect White Americans, which is stupid entirely, condemned local authorities for supporting what they call anti-white hate and anti-white violence by releasing Anthony and who is black on bond. Now, I guess some people are saying Austin Metcalf might be a far leftist or like a liberal or whatever. Let me put it this very simple for you guys, all right? I'll make myself a little bit bigger here. I don't care whether they're on the left or on the right. When somebody has a family member of any kind murdered in this type of way, God forbid a son or a daughter, I don't care what side they're on. It's bad regardless, and we should actually have some type of, a bit of empathy for these people. Now, when it comes down to their voting patterns or what have you in this instance, yeah, I don't think we should have very much sympathy when they vote for things and things go terribly on their way. But in this instance, you just do not do this type of things, right? And he just buried his son. So we gotta now with that stuff. So I agree with this man here, pretty much saying, they are race grifters. That's insane. So that's all they are, race baiters. Jack, how I told the Post, effing people that want to spew their narrative for their own agenda. They only F about my family, about Karmelo Anthony's family. Again, I don't know why we're trying to care about Karmelo Anthony's family as they're just race baiting and grifting as well. So I don't see why we have to give any type of defense or whatever to this family. Like I said, whether this guy is a leftist or not, I don't care. It's just kind of weird what's going on. So again, we have this here. Frisco, Texas, Protect White Americans rally, lots of grifting, 2 arrests, and total waste of everyone's time, which I agree. So we have this here. We're going to go...
Woman right here in the mask. If you made someone, please get rid of her. You don't need to be here. You know you're not...
So again, this is the actual protest that they were having here, and this is really, really stupid. It is really dumb. I don't know how much that's actually a very nice bus. Holy crap. Okay. I mean, I would like to have that bus, I'm not going to lie, but this is just a bunch of race grifters, right? This is just completely stupid. Again, with the Confederate flag here, which is, again, dumb. I don't like this at all. I may believe we're going to get into the actual interview here with one of these people, and I'm going to spend a lot of time on him because, again, I don't like this.
Only event, and I just wanted to see, how it was,
What do you think of the turnout?
A little disappointing. I saw over like 100,000 reposts and maybe like 60 people. Kind of lame.
The funeral was way bigger.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people here.
Way bigger than this.
What do you think about the case itself?
Like I said, you weren't there. I wasn't there. I don't know all we're hearing is case details. We're seeing minor police reports. We're not seeing any actual factual evidence or details. We're hearing it was a knife. It was a cleat sharpener. We're hearing a whole lot of stuff like that. Self-defense. It was a murder. We're hearing a whole lot of things. So that's why we have a court system and a judicial system to make sure there's a due process for every person involved in this case.
I understand. I like what this guy is saying. He's being very rational. He doesn't know very much about it, and that's rightfully so, right? So, I mean, there's nothing to hate here for this guy, right? Yeah, I mean, you can't hate this man for actually just doing this. This is just moron over here.
He does very well, but no, we've been friends while I was in prison. Well, I had nothing to offer him, and I still don't have much to offer him because I just got out of prison 90 days ago. But he believes in the cause, and so he's shifted from just the social media.
I like how he says, I've been in prison. Again, this is not like a big deal in my opinion. Like, this is just kind of like whatever. I mean, the whole thing is just tiny and small, and it's insignificant, right? What we do have here is that from Lauren Witzk, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I could be horrendously wrong. Is that something is very wrong with the murder of Austin Metcalf. They goes on to say they confiscated over 70 cell phones from the students to ensure that no footage of his violent, racially motivated murder was leaked, which is very, very odd in this instance. And then we have this here where it says Austin Metcalf was stabbed so violently that he bled out in under 1 minute, which, okay. Yeah, but if you're just getting stabbed in the chest or whatever, that could be very easily done. Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff, has a big black handler that keeps him in line and uses him to stifle any white person who mentions that this was a racial motivated murder that needs to be addressed, which I don't care about that, honestly. I don't see how this is actually necessarily a problem here. Who cares? So he has a black handler. So who cares? I don't see where this is an issue here. It goes on to say, and this comes after Jeff Metcalf's humiliation apology tour on the media, where he sympathized with his son's murderer while they publicly raised money and danced on his son's grave. Yeah, that one's weird. I don't know about what this is going on here because, I don't agree with the sympathize with his son's murderer. Maybe it's some type of religious thing. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But that is something a little bit weird. He might be a better man than me, but I would not be sympathizing with my son's murder whatsoever. I would be honestly out for blood, personally. But that's just me. So I can't. It's just gonna be me and look outside in, right? It says look how Jeff Metcalf's black handler showed up to the protest and put him on the phone to yell at protesters. It says bravo to Jake Lang for holding his ground. He is right because of just behavior. There are going to be 1,000 more Austin Metcalfs because these violent blacks are now empowered to murder whites without consequence. Well, I don't think that's necessarily the case, but let's go look at this, right? Let's go look at this and see what goes on.
Would you be willing to stand by me in a press conference or in an individual interview and talk about this issue that is larger than Austin at this point? God rest the beautiful young man's soul that would have been one of our strongest voices if he was still alive today.
Are you done?
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, my turn to speak. You are part of the fucking problem, my friend. You're trying to create more race divide than bridging the gap. I do not condone anything you do. You do not have any fucking...
That's called white guilt.
No, let it talk.
But my son, let me finish. I give you your time. You take my son's face off your website. I am not associated with you. I don't...
You're creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness, sir.
Thanks.
You are creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness.
You are being weak. I gotta be honest with you about that, sir.
You're being weak. Condemn your son's killer and the culture that caused it.
Hey, Jeff.
That's the problem.
Okay, so I'm going to chime in here, all right? And this is stupidity, right? This guy just lost his son, right? And rightfully so. It doesn't seem like the family at all wants to be a part of this media tour or any of this, what have you. And you know what? I don't blame them. The fact of the matter is you're trying to say and force his dad to say, I condemn this stuff, I condemn this or whatever, and make it enforcing the dad after he just lost his son. This guy, the father is grieving, all right? The family is actually grieving. What are we doing here? Because I don't see to where how this benefits anyone. It's like, yes, we can address that there is a massive problem on the black community where there is a lot of violence on the black community. We can address this, but that does not mean that this man has to get into the politics of this. That does not mean at all. Let the father and let the family just grieve, all right? And the fact that we have this tool over here, this garbage person, this grifter, is just saying like, oh, you're part of the problem. You're the reason why you're going to create more Austin Metcalfs. No. That's not it at all. Like, that's quite insane here. What are we doing?
You've been submitted.
Hold on, Jeff.
You've been submitted.
I'll handle it from here.
You've been submitted, sir.
You're not going to make us
If we were all of your nature,
Guys, listen.
You're
let
not
me
going
say
to
this.
say
what are we doing?
Do you know who you're talking to? You don't, do you?
I'm talking to a black man.
You don't. No, you're not.
Okay.
You sit here, you talk about Trump.
But I am. You're not
Google my name and Trump. No. When you do that, my name is Frisco.
I agree with black males winning,
Google that.
but they're not winning right now.
What you're doing,
they're becoming
what
degenerates.
you're doing,
and murdering white people.
You're not helping America. You're no more patriotic than I am. No way.
Silent is not helping.
on January
You've been
6th?
silent. It's only gotten worse.
Where were you on January 6th?
You've been silent. It's only gotten worse.
Where were you?
So again, this is just complete stupidity, right? This is just stupidity of every regard. Now, again, I would have to believe with the black man over here. I think that this guy is doing absolutely nothing to help the actual problem. Now, what we do is we will say is that we address and see the issues within the black community and what are the problems that are having. Yes, we do a talk about this. However, saying that all black people or black people in general want to erase white people or whatever is not going to cause a great, it's not going to help the problem with specifically with the racial divide. There is a difference between saying, okay, look, we have black people that are committing these amounts of crime, all right? We need to figure out how to fix this, how to solve this, and we need to bring this out to light. But saying that all black people want to kill white people or what have you is not fixing problems. That's divisive. There's a difference between asking the questions, seeing what's going on here, and how we can fix it. I've always been like this with this point here. We see this issue that's coming. We know how many black people are doing this type of stuff or what have you. All right, we see that problem. But, all right, first off, we have to address the issue at hand. Why is this happening? But we're not going to go out and say that all black people are going and doing this. There is at least half of the black community that are doing this, and we have to ask the question, why? But, again, we can't say all black people are doing this. They want to go erase white people. But we can't say that there are a lot of black people that are defending Karmelo Anthony for committing this heinous crime. There are a lot of black people that are doing that. Now, are this all? No. This guy's a race grifter. This guy is no better than the Karmelo Anthony or whatever they're doing the grifts. And you'll find out later on throughout the videos that I make that you see what the issue is.
Did you stand for your country
So you
when they
think that
stole our
made you
vote?
patriot because you showed up there? Does that
tyranny-
make you a patriot?
Joe
What's your
Biden,
Because you
solution?
showed
Biden
up?
is a
All you're doing is
pedophile.
condemning us. What's your
My
solution?
solution is to help people where they're weak. So we have an issue in young black males' lives across the country.
It's not
It doesn't
say that
matter.
to Jeff
Nothing's
Metcalf.
changed. Say that to Jeff Metcalf.
We talk about it, man.
Say it.
At the end of the
So
day,
then- so
the
then
man
what
is
is
asking.
his-
So let me ask you this: you got a father who's grieving, and your response is he's weak.
My father is celebrating my strength right now.
You have no idea. You'll never win the Senate. And what I'll do, I'll come to Florida and run for Senate and run as a Republican, and I'll kick your butt.
No, you lose, bro.
You need 2 years of residency in Florida.
Because this behavior is why we're in the situation where we are.
No.
We get these. Is that what it is? Okay. Well, at the end of the day, he's asked you what to do and what not to do.
Listen,
you have a right to
he's
do it
no
or not
longer
do it.
You can say not talk about
I love
Austin
Austin.
Metcalf, but we're going to
You
continue
don't know
this
Austin.
movement.
I love somebody
You
enough
love
to
the
be
thought
strong
of
with.
using Austin
No.
for T-shirts, for propaganda, and to get out here and talk about
You
who
want to
you
shut
are.
down a
I'm
white
not
man
raising
right now.
money.
That's what
I'll
you're
show
trying to
you.
See, here's the thing. This is what we have with these grifters, and they're just not good people. They're terrible people. And as I said before, this guy is a fool. And we have again here where Austin Metcalf Jeff as a black handler, this handler ensures that Judge doesn't spark any kind of racial awareness, that he instead continuously humiliates himself on his apology tour. So again, here's the thing that I want to explain here, right? In what's going on. The problem that we have here with this is that you guys haven't gotten wind of this. You probably already know from other news sources, which I haven't going to report yet. But again, Austin Metcalf was also swatted not too long ago. So even still, he may be doing this just to give push away some of these racist actors that are going after Austin Metcalf, or his family. Okay, so that might be one of the reasons. We can't be playing stupid here. And then of course we have this guy named Jake Long, this Lang. He's an absolute fool. Says, I just broke into Kendall Stadium and got the first ever footage of Austin Metcalf's blood stained on the stadium floor still. His blood cries out for justice, and of course he gets community noted and goes to say, the individual in this video is filming on the home side of the stadium, Amanda McCoon, a district spokeswoman said. The incident occurred on the visitor side, which can be seen across the field when he turns the camera off himself. Which, by the way, this is a damn rust stain. What are we doing here?
There's the blood stain.
So, again, this guy is a fool. He's a grifter. And this is the reason why I thought this whole bloody protest was stupid. It says, nobody showed up to your rally, so you break into the stadium to exploit the death of that kid. What the F is wrong with you, bro? Yeah. So, again, this guy is a fool. He's a grifter, and then we have, it says, satisfying moment, Austin Metcalf's dad puts the white nationalist in his place for trying to exploit his son's death. Exactly. That's what these fools are. These people are clowns, and we need to treat them as clowns. I'll give you more reports on Austin Metcalf, but what I'm telling you right now, we have actual grifters that have nothing to do with the actual right or whatever, or with people like Trump. These people are not even on this side. Because, again, we have Hodge twins saying otherwise. These people are clowns, and we got to treat them as clowns. This is not help the racial tensions. This is making racial tensions worse, and it is what it is. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.